Okay, so we got to move along. All right, so you know, the E cage is a little different, but the E cage 145 is E A C. It's a minor chord, first inversion. The rest of them are 145. The G cage is G C D is 145. D cage is D G A is 145. Okay, that kind of thing. All right. The A cage usually is 145. A D E. Okay. So that's the difference. There's three that are 145. There's one that spells a major chord. There's one that spells a minor chord first inversion. All right, so let's continue. So this is so we can look at what chord shapes we have in that. So the 145, there's not going to be a 145 description here. It's just what do we got here. So in, let's say in the second cage, which is in our ramp pattern, we're going 6 7 root 2 3 4. This is this string of the ramp. What do we got in that cage? Suppose we want to stop there. We don't want to keep doing the ramp. Where are we and what do we do? Well, you know, it's 2 3 4. You can always just start a D shape there. If you're on the second string on a 2 3 4, okay, so it'd be like this. Okay, if you're staying in the same key, you just start a D shape there. Hit the warp. What's the fourth of D? Is G, so you're going to have a G string shape. 6 7 root. It's G string shape. When you go down to that bottom string, there's a lot of ways to figure out what cage you're in. We had a whole lecture on that, but we don't want to get into that now. This means don't play these strings during the ramp. You know, so what do we have in the A cage? Well, it says we've got an A shape on the third string of the ramp. So we got 5 6 7 root 2. You're in the middle of that thing. But what do you want to do with it? Where are you? What do you got there? So it's just what's in this cage. We got a long G. What's a long G? 6 7 root 2 3 4. Then go into the long because we can't get this 7. So we're playing it safe by playing the long patterns. We don't want to go back for that. We want to learn how to do the long patterns because they help us in ramp patterns and they help us around the fret nut and they help us in modal patterns too. So we get away from the regular cage system and you get into the long patterns and new cages kind of thing. So this would have the long G. All right, but we always, of course, we're always referring to, as a matter of fact, right now I'm referring to the cage system because the G string shape is the bottom string of the G in the cage system. If you want to do just a pentatonic, you're not going to even need that 7. So it'd just be 6 root 2 3 5 6 root 2, and then warping up, you'd have 3 5 6 root. Okay. So instead of this 3 being right over the 7 2 3 5, you know, kind of thing. Let's see, root 2, yeah. All right, so we also have a long and short E here. All right, so where's our E? Here we're going to start on root 2. So we've got root 2, 3 5 6 root 2 3 5 6 root 2, and then we have the long E, which would be root 2 3 4 5 6 7 root 2 3 4. Then we'll go into the long 5 6 7 root 2 3. See how we had room for the long? So we had the long one there too. So we had long G. We didn't have short G because we can't get this 7 in this cage. Remember, when you're defining a cage, you don't worry about a note that's one note out of the cage. We got the long G, and we got a long and short E. Over here in the next cage, which is C on string 4, C string shape. So here's string 4, 3 4 5, C string shape. So it's 3 4 5 6 7. Now this 5 6 7 is a long A string shape, 5 6 7. We're taking the color for the first string shape, which is 3 4 5. What can we get out of that? We can get a short D 2, 3. So we can do it pentatonic or diatonic. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4. Here's our D-shaped root here, 5, root 3. So we got a short D because we could get over there from the starting point. All right, so with the 2 in this particular situation here, we can do a short D there. Okay, so we've got our short D there, and we've got a long C with a cutout. Okay, how do we do that? Here's our C, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4. Now we go into the long 5, 6, 7, but if we didn't have the cutout, we'd have to go root 2, 3 up. We're in the next cage. So we're going to just take the cutout. So it's root 2, 3, which means we went back to the previous pattern, starting from the 4th of the last string. The 4th of the C string shape is E, so it goes back to 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5. Short patterns, regular cage string shapes, cage system is really important. So that's with the cutout. Now try that one more time. 3, 4, 5. So we'll go, where are we? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're not going to want to go to that 7. Yeah, we can get to 5, 6, 7. But with the root 2, 3, we're going to cut out back to the regular string shape. So it's root 2, 3, 4, 5. Try it again. Okay, so that, that's the way that's defined. So we've implemented the cutout, this time not to get an open string, but to stay in a cage. So that's interesting. We just want to define a cage and see what we can get from this, so that's the cutout. And we have the other definitions for the other cages. So let's move forward with this now to the next chart. Okay, so this is chart 302. Ramp pentatonics in general. Alright, this is just a little extra information we can refer to. We talked about the small ramp, we talked about the hybrid long ramp. So it's a hybrid because it's got caged here. Okay, 7 root 2 is short pattern linked, 7 root 2, E to D, string shapes, regular cage system, bottom strings of those cages. 7 root 2 is bottom string of the E cage. 2, 3, 4 is the bottom string of the D cage. Okay. Then we go to the long. So it's a long, short. It's a hybrid ramp. This ramp is more interesting here. Now let's talk about this. Actually, this has got my attention. I saw something on one of the YouTube shorts about this. Somebody was playing this. I said, I know every pattern. So let me see what pattern it is. This is what pattern it was. Root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Root 2, 3. Just goes in a little circle like that. That's a ramp. Okay, that's a ramp. Now, the young lady was playing the thing pentatonically, so I decided to also grab the major minor pentatonic from like chart 297 or something like that. So normally, diatonically on root 2, 3, we'll have something like root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You don't have to have the notes on because they're all whole notes. But where's root 2, 3? Where's 4 go? It's right on top of it. So it's... Now from here, you got to get used to this whole step here. This half step, actually. It's a half step because remember, this is a perfect fourth.